At one point in his life, Elon Musk was sleeping on the floor of his office, showering at a local YMCA, and borrowing money just to survive. Today, he is one of the most influential entrepreneurs in history, responsible for companies worth hundreds of billions of dollars. This is not a story about luck or privilege. It is a story about extreme risk, obsession, failure, and an almost irrational belief in the future. Elon Musk is not just another billionaire. He is the driving force behind companies like Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and The Boring Company. His work impacts industries such as electric vehicles, space exploration, renewable energy, artificial intelligence, and infrastructure. At his peak, Musk's net worth surpassed $300 billion, making him the richest individual ever recorded. Elon Musk was born in 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa. His childhood was far from easy. He was introverted, socially awkward, and frequently bullied at school. In one incident, he was beaten so severely that he required hospitalization. During these years, books became his refuge, especially science fiction and encyclopedias that fed his imagination. At just 10 years old, Elon developed a deep interest in computers. By the age of 12, he taught himself how to code and created a video game called Blastar. He sold it to a magazine for around $500. This moment is often overlooked, but it revealed two traits that would define his future: technical skill and entrepreneurial instinct. Despite his intelligence, Elon felt trapped in South Africa. He believed the country offered limited opportunities for someone who wanted to build world-changing technology. At 17 years old, he left his home, his family, and his comfort zone, moving to Canada with very little money and no clear plan beyond reaching the United States. In Canada, Musk worked physically exhausting jobs to survive. He cleaned industrial boilers, shoveled dirt, and worked long hours for minimal pay. These experiences shaped his tolerance for discomfort and suffering. He later said that after those jobs, nothing in business ever felt truly hard again. After moving to the United States, Elon enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania and later was accepted into a PhD program at Stanford. However, he dropped out after just 2 days. The reason was simple: the internet boom had begun, and Musk believed that delaying even a year could mean missing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. In the mid-1990s, Elon and his brother Kimball founded their first company, Zip2. The idea was to help newspapers transition into the digital age by providing online city guides. The company struggled initially, and Musk lived in the office, sleeping on the floor and working nearly non-stop to keep the business alive. In 1999, Zip2 was acquired by Compaq for $307 million. Elon Musk personally received around $22 million from the sale. For most people, this would have been the end goal. For Musk, it was only the beginning. Instead of slowing down, he immediately reinvested his money into even riskier ventures. After selling Zip2, Elon Musk invested nearly all of his $22 million into a new startup called X.com. The company aimed to reinvent banking by moving money entirely online. At the time, most people did not trust the internet with financial transactions. Musk believed digital payments would dominate the future, even though the technology and public confidence were not fully ready yet. X.com eventually merged with Confinity, a rival payments company. The merged entity later became PayPal. However, internal conflicts quickly emerged. Musk pushed for aggressive expansion and complex technical decisions, while other executives favored stability. While Musk was on his honeymoon, the board voted to remove him as CEO, a rare and painful moment for a founder. Being removed from PayPal forced Musk to confront a hard truth: technical brilliance alone was not enough. He later admitted that this experience reshaped his understanding of leadership and delegation. Instead of avoiding risk, he doubled down on it. deciding that future ventures would be built around missions so ambitious that failure would be worth the cost. In 2002, eBay acquired PayPal for $1.5 billion. Musk received approximately $180 million. Instead of protecting his capital, he made a decision that stunned Silicon Valley. He allocated most of his wealth into two industries widely viewed as financial suicide: space exploration and electric vehicles, both known for massive capital requirements and slow returns. When founding SpaceX in 2002, Musk had no formal background in aerospace engineering. Instead, he taught himself by reading textbooks, talking to experts, and breaking problems down to first principles. His goal was simple but radical: reduce the cost of space travel by orders of magnitude. Something most industry veterans said was impossible. SpaceX failed its first 3 rocket launches between 2006 and 2008. Each failure destroyed years of work and millions of dollars. Internally, morale collapsed. Externally, critics labeled Musk reckless and naive. By the third failure, SpaceX had enough money for only one final attempt. A fourth failure would have ended the company permanently. At the same time, Tesla was facing its own disaster. Production delays, cost overruns, and internal disputes pushed the company to the edge of bankruptcy. Musk personally replaced the CEO and took control, working extreme hours. He later described this period as the most painful and stressful of his entire career. By late 2008, Musk had invested nearly his entire fortune into Tesla and SpaceX. He was borrowing money to cover personal expenses. Then, against all odds, SpaceX's fourth launch succeeded. Days later, NASA awarded SpaceX a crucial contract. Almost simultaneously, Tesla secured last-minute funding, narrowly avoiding collapse. SpaceX later achieved what was once considered science fiction, landing and reusing orbital rockets. This innovation dramatically reduced launch costs and reshaped the economics of space. Tesla followed a similar pattern, proving that electric cars could outperform gasoline vehicles in speed, safety, and design, forcing the entire automotive industry to adapt. At his peak, Musk's net worth exceeded $300 billion, largely driven by Tesla stock. Unlike most billionaires, his wealth was highly volatile, fluctuating daily with market sentiment. His unconventional behavior, social media presence, and public controversies made him both admired and criticized, keeping him constantly in the global spotlight. One of Elon Musk's most repeated lessons is thinking from first principles. Instead of copying how things are done, he breaks problems down to their most basic truths. This approach allowed him to question why rockets were so expensive and redesign them from scratch, reducing costs dramatically. Musk believes progress only happens when assumptions are challenged, not followed. Musk often says that if something is important enough, you should try it even if failure is likely. He invested nearly his entire fortune into Tesla and SpaceX when both were close to bankruptcy. According to Musk, avoiding risk guarantees mediocrity, while calculated risk creates the possibility of extraordinary outcomes. Elon Musk is known for working extreme hours, often exceeding 80 to 100 hours per week. He believes that putting in more time allows you to compress years of progress into months. While controversial, Musk argues that intense effort is often required when building something truly new under extreme pressure. Musk prioritizes problem-solving ability over formal credentials. He has repeatedly stated that a college degree is not required to work at his companies. Instead, he looks for people who can think clearly, learn fast, and solve hard problems. In his view, talent is proven through action, not titles. Elon Musk emphasizes long-term thinking over short-term profits. Tesla and SpaceX operated at a loss for years while building infrastructure and technology. Musk believes that focusing only on immediate returns limits innovation, while long-term vision allows companies to dominate entire industries over time. Elon Musk's journey shows that extreme outcomes often require extreme decisions. His success was not guaranteed and came close to failure multiple times. Whether admired or disliked, his story demonstrates the power of long-term thinking, obsession with fundamentals, and the willingness to endure years of uncertainty for a vision that most people cannot yet see.